Welcome to episode 9 of the Slab podcast where the grades matter and there are no rules. Thank you all. 1,000 views on our last podcast episode. Just so you guys know, we're going to be giving this away. I'll be announcing how we're going to do that here shortly. But just a couple quick messages. All over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast. It's everywhere. So go check those out. And of course, the Instagram's linked down below. Now, spicy topics. This is how you're going to win this. So down below in the comments, go comment a spicy topic for next week. So that's how you're going to get entered. One entry per person. And we'll just do a spin wheel or something at the end of the next podcast video for the winner. It's going to be awesome. So, but yeah, looking forward to that. And we had a tie last week for our spicy topics between Brad G cards and, of course, Professor Oak. Nobody liked mine. It was pretty much the opposite of yours. Actually, I think it was Retrospect who commented on mine saying I was dusted, and his comment got more likes than my original comment. So that's the way it goes. It feels pretty bad, man. How you doing though? You excited?
I'm good. Crown Zenith giveaway. Look at this guy. That's exciting. Okay, so the Zod Hunter, Mr. Brad himself. A double one. So Dan cheated. I think we should approach this lightly.
No. So just for context, that Brad and Oak tied 15 likes apiece. So keep liking those comments you guys like. So shout out to Brad for tying with Oak. That was pretty awesome. But yeah, looking forward to breaking it down a little bit here because if you want to give a little context behind that for some of the people that might not even know what that means, what the Dan cheated.
Yeah, so let's dig into Brad's first, like you say. So last weekend we were at Collecticon in Orlando, Florida, and Dan and Nick had different sections. I'm sure most of you are aware, we've touched on it, but each had different sections, and some of us had tables within their sections to sell card slabs, pushes, whatever we had. And there was a bit of a wager between Nick and Dan who's going to sell the most gross sales over the weekend. And essentially Dan had a pretty big purchase, ended up flipping and selling some of that stuff the same day, next day, that kind of stuff. Ended up having a really fantastic weekend and just crushed it. I mean, he absolutely killed us. Nick and everyone, all the superstars that were in our section on the tables, I was the tadpole, absolutely tadpole in the school of whales around me. But I had fun. It was enjoyable, at least being around those people. I felt motivated and inspired by them. Sitting next to Jake Pogonomics and sitting next to, Zord Hunter and Vandy Pogistone. We got who else do we have? Paletan, Crystal, Nick, Walrus. We had who else was there? Who else was
Vandy flips.
I think I said Vandy. Yeah, Vandy.
Oh.
I mean, everyone's just fantastic, just surrounded by absolute superstars. So for me, the competition was pretty low on the scale of importance when I was having so much fun, chatting with people, at the tables, looking at my cards and my slabs, selling stuff, making fun, just generally enjoying the whole experience. But Nick and Dan, they had a little wager going on, and Dan did fantastic. We did well, not as well as we'd hoped. I think some people had good luck on some stuff, not so good luck on some stuff like you. I know you said the same thing, like some things just didn't sell just because of what you had. I just think it was I don't know, circumstance or whatever. Dan had a really good day, but obviously there was a lot of factors that played into that for the section as a whole. They had different product, they had different things, different needs, buyouts from whatnot sellers, that kind of stuff. There was just different things going on, very different sections, different things for sale. So for me, it was just a case of each section had a different approach. We didn't really buy that much stuff and sell it the same day. It was we were selling what we brought. So that was
Yeah.
like the 70 approach. The 71 approach with Dan was like gross sales. Like, let's take in trades, let's take in sales of ours, like let's buy stuff and then sell it, that kind of stuff. So they just like were able to do well as a whole, like so much movement in so many different directions. So just different. I don't know if it was, I hate that phrase per se, that I hear people say it all the time nowadays. Per se, it wasn't cheating, but like, I mean, really, it wasn't cheating, honestly. But I mean, it's fun to say, right? I mean, he did take a different approach to everybody else. So I guess it's however you view it. But I mean, what's your thoughts? Like, what's your take on it? You were very heavily invested in the game and the sections. You've done a lot of Collecticons. You've been very active with each of them. Like,
yeah, I'm going to take Brad's comment for what it is, and he just said straight out, Dan cheated. 100% can confirm it is complete utter BS. The thing that just transpired at that Collecticon. Nick by no means should be required to pay the beers out to that section. Dan went ahead and bought what $20,000-$30,000 worth of booster boxes, had a bunch of heavy packs ready to sell for less than 10% margin or whatever it is. Just fluffing the numbers, just a nice little fluffaroo. So I mean, I don't know how you can get any closer to cheating without actually crossing that line. So yeah, he fluffed the crap out of his numbers. So I ended up at one point, I had sent a guy that had come to me for packs. I offered him like $2,500 for some raw packs. Dan ended up buying the packs for like $3,000.
That's the base set 2 guy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Dan bought him for $3,000, and he in his own recap video said he lost money on it, but he was doing everything he could to beat Nick Old School Pokemon's group. So it's a little slimy, bro. It's a little slimy. Just saying. No.
Okay, so how do we fix that next time? Is it net profit?
That's too hard.
Like, too hard. I don't know how we get around that aspect of it. What you're just saying, because gross is like, I mean, it's gross. It don't matter what you spent. Like, it's gross.
I would omit the liquid, super liquid packs like that. Like, I feel like if you're priced really good, those packs are gonna fly off the shelves. Like it's the most liquid thing you could have.
I would omit
Watsy pack.
I would omit anything that wasn't brought. That's what I would omit.
Yeah, but still,
I would say anything you bring. For me, I would say anything goes if you bring it. If it's your stuff, it's your product. You got it. You got hands on it. You brought it. You're gonna sell it there. Fair game. But for the contest anyway, like in that part. But he killed it. I'm really happy for him. That was really cool hearing. Like outside of the competition and whatever, like that's really cool hearing someone that's full time having success. Like that really, like I'm smiling thinking about it. Like it was like motivating and inspiring to hear that someone had like a really successful weekend that does it full time and they're like have to succeed, and then I'm actually pulling it off and succeeding. That's pretty cool. Like, no,
if I was full time, and I would have probably just quit after that weekend. It was pretty brutal. So that transitions us into your comment, I'm sure, a little bit of your winning tying comment, the expensive slabs or bags. Let's let you unpack that a little bit, eh?
How many slabs? Let me ask you this: how many slabs did I bring? I didn't count, and I should have. I really should have counted.
It's got to be 75, 100.
I'd say probably close to 100. Yeah, I think you're probably about right. I think you're right, ballpark. I sold, I think, 1, maybe 2. I don't remember. Very minimal, very, very low percentage that were over $100.
How many of those were Pikachus over $100?
All the ones over $100 were Pikachu.
No comment, Your Honor.
Objection. Someone back me up in the comments here. I need some spicy Pikachu comments. Come on. Who doesn't fucking love Pikachu? Guys, seriously, I had some banger Pikachu cards. I mean, people were picking them up and staring at them. Like they were sitting there, standing there, just staring at these cards, holding. They had to physically hold them because they were so drawn to these Pikachus, and they still do not want to pay the money. The old maid fucking Slowpoke sold before my nice Pikachus, my Japanese PSA 10 Pikachu cards. I mean, it was like I was on a different planet. The value, the emotional connection, and the heartfelt value that people were putting into the cheaper cards was exponential compared to the stuff that I value and I put, time grading and searching and researching and putting all that effort into. It was awakening almost of like, why bother with expensive stuff that you hope someone needs for their collection at eBay, like, or this auction house or this or that, like whatever, like just grade stuff that people like and sell it, grade it, like just get involved, do that stuff. It's real simple. Buy stuff people want, buy stuff that's selling, buy stuff that's modern, grade it, I don't know, card sleeve it, card saver want it, whatever it is. That's where money is. Like that, honestly, if you just want to make money, that's where it is. For me, the fun's not there. That's not what I'm passionate about. I enjoy finding the stuff that's a little bit odd, a little bit low pop, a little bit more expensive. It's just, I'm just at a different place now. I think it's just, I just get excited about the chase part and the more modern common stuff. It's not chasey, but it was very awakening knowing what did well. Plus, I mean, not to like, brag that I sold a lot of cheap slabs, but like you didn't sell you had some really nice cards there that I like couldn't take my eyes off, and they weren't selling. Like people weren't buying them, and that was like very concerning to me when I went there with the approach that like you were going to do amazing things with all these amazing cards, and like everybody else saw these amazing cards, and I saw Proconomics sat there with all these amazing cards, and like people just weren't crazy about them. I thought they were the ones that were going to be big hitters and big sellers, throughout the sections. And in reality, like it was a lot more mismatched and hodgepodge than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I mean, what's your take? What's your feelings on it? I'm sure you have a little bit of like feeling just because of you saying that you felt like you missed some stuff that you should have bought. But I mean, what's your thought overall?
Yeah, unpack yours a little bit. The Pikachus, I want to say like probably 98.3% of Pikachu people don't like expensive Pikachus. Like I feel like most people that are going to buy a Pikachu slab are like, oh, there's a jungle PSA 7.3. Let me pick that thing up. The thing's beautiful. And then when they see that, when they see that thing, it's $150. They're like, why the hell would I buy this one? I can get 77 other ones. I feel like that's most Pikachu collectors. Of course, there are the ones like you that have the value of all that crazy stuff. So it's just you put yourself in that little niche pocket of high-end Pikachus. Like it's kind of my whole issue I had with my entire table is like a niche little pocket of expensive and all the cheaper stuff I had. There was $20 slabs in my booth, but nobody cared. They wanted old made $20 slabs and not PSA 9 vending series $20 slabs. So it's just a niche thing people didn't know. It was crazy to see it happening right there. Like the old maid was right there, or they had like $20 vending series and everybody wanted old maid. The Pikachu, the Chansey was much larger in those cards. It was a 10, not a 9. Why the heck would I want this vending series card when this Pokemon pops out of this card so much more? I can just hear him talking about it now. But yeah, expensive cards, they were definitely a bag for me. I agree in that statement. For me, they were a bag at Collecticon, but the number of people wanting to buy those things, like I had a few people interested in one of the black labels, and then I had people interested in my PSA 9 first edition set on Sunday. A few people So it was getting interest, but no buys. And I definitely agree in the sense of Collecticon that expensive cards are bags, but in general, like the statement that you have it, expensive slabs are bags. Hunter could not disagree more, because it's just obviously selling on eBay is king. So like I had my Black Label Slow King listed for $3,000 at Collecticon. The next week on eBay, I got a $3,500 offer, and it's crazy. Like the Black Label market's insane. Like high end stuff it's still popping off for Pokemon. Somebody sold a Black Label Rocket Gang Dark Vileplume for $3,000. That card is like $7. $7 card. It's crazy.
So I think it's audience, right?
Oh yeah,
because
100%.
we had a very small audience, but a very narrow there to look for Pokemon card audience too. It's not just browsing through random auction sites, looking through this or that, or just looking at Pikachu's. Like people were there to look at slabs and look at singles, and that's what they were there and they invested, time and effort. Gone there, they're walking around and spend the whole day there. Some people spending the whole weekend there. Some people were there to make money. Some people were there to spend money. Some people were there just for the interest and the hobby. There's like a whole mix of people, but not many. So you're right. I mean, it's just down to the audience. You need to get it on auction house. You need to get it consigned. You need to get it in those places where you're going to get the world's eyes on it. Because what's that phrase? It's like another man's trash is another man's treasure, or whatever it is. Like it's just a case of like those old maids. Honestly, if I sold them on eBay, they probably would have sold for 30, 35. Like some of them, a couple of them, maybe even more. But like that just wasn't the spot for it. That's why I sold them so cheap. I wanted to get them out, and I wanted to just provide a service for people. Honestly, like it wasn't really making any profit on those few that I bought that I had left. After I sold the good ones. But yeah, I mean, I sold a lot of $30 and $40 and $50 Pikachu's, pretty much all of them, honestly. More of the $40 and $50 range, which was weird because it was like the $30 stuff kind of sold, but not that much. It was more the $20 and then like the $40, $50, $60 stuff, which was odd. But I sold a lot of that stuff, and it was kind of like that stuff was like $3, $4 cards and $15 gradient. I mean, it was like not crazy. I'm not making Black Label stonks on that. I'm not making crazy like 100, 200x profit. I'm not doing all this crazy stuff. I'm not doing like Dan's numbers, but like for someone that's just in the hobby and very humbly in the hobby, like just funding what I'm buying. I mean, I felt like I won the lottery that day. Honestly, I felt really good about it. I invested some money into stuff and, got a decent profit out of it. And and now I'm able to plug that into some other stuff that I want to play around with. So, yeah, it's interesting. I do think for that area too, like not all expensive cards are bags, not all slabs. I know some of the other sections, some of the other people that were selling had some really good sales on some really good cards. I know Jake behind us, he had some really good sales on some. He had some pretty special cards. Honestly, he had some really nice stuff. So that was cool to see him have some success with those things. On the ones that he sold. But for me, like maybe it's because it was Pikachu. Like you say, no bueno for me. But yeah, guys, just like Josh said earlier, get your spicy comment for next week because that's going to enter you in for the Crown Zenith win. It's a pretty special little giveaway there.
Damn right. You ready to jump into ours? Did I go first or you go first last time?
Are we doing one?
Yeah, we're doing one. We can't win the ETB, but we'll still get a comment down there because just for old time's sake. But I definitely want to see one of us get beat out by somebody. And if you got a YouTube channel, don't be afraid to freaking put a spicy comment down there. If you win this, give it away. We'll love to see you give it away to your viewers. So pass on the winnings. So want to see everybody down there. I'll go first, just to give you some time to think about it, because I know you probably didn't plan. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, art-wise, are far superior to Pokemon. 100%.
I don't know about that. I hate when you say yours. I always want to respond and have a conversation about it. I have a hard time waiting.
You'll beat me and we won't talk about it again.
Yeah, I guess so. Listen, we got to have a failed comment discussion or something. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about that we haven't touched on. I think mine is kind of similar, but not really. I think promos are underrated. Just general, like, random promos. I know we've got a lot in the past year in terms of like 3-pack blister type stuff and like single pack blisters and like Cosmos foil type stuff, and just generally a lot of different promos. And obviously excluding special delivery, like they're a whole different kettle of fish, but just general promo, Black Star promo type stuff, and some of the promos from some of the regular set card products, I just think they're underrated. I think they're too cheap. Even the free GameStop ones given away, like I don't understand why all that stuff is so cheap, despite like how unique it is compared to, they're not an actual, the same as a set card. They are different. They are separated in a way. So I don't know. This is a long sentence. Sorry.
I think you really broke your record for the longest comment that you're going to post for this spicy. That's like a 3 effing pager.
You guys love it, right? They love
Good
it.
effing luck. Good luck. Mine was like 4 effing words, but that was like 4 effing pages.
Promos are underrated. There you go. That's 3 words.
There you go. You've already covered the next episode. We're good. Like, you got another one? You might as well get it out there. You already covered that one.
Visit cardinalgaming.com. There we go.
Oh, that's a spicy topic. There you go.
Let's jump into the grading numbers for February. We are now in March, and we have gem rate. Very thankful for you pulling the numbers, and I'm not 100% sure how clean they are. I'll be honest with you. I don't trust data that I haven't touched myself, working with data myself with the teams at work, but I trust that it's close enough. So PSA for TCG graded 466,000 slabs in February. It's quite a lot of slabs. A lot of PSA 10s, I'm sure, out of that. It's pretty decent chunk. What's that, like 115, 120-ish, like somewhere in between there, the 1 teens a week slabs.
Yeah.
I don't know if Collecticon is selling 100,000 slabs a week. Like, there's obviously a lot going on with other places. So just kind of primes what we were talking about in terms of, like, getting stuff to the right places. But yeah, 500,000 slabs knocked out in February from PSA in TCG. That's not even sports. Like, that's just non-sports stuff. CGC,
turnaround times have been real quick. Their turnaround times have been freaking awesome. It's good to see that happening, but I've been seeing a lot of people get wrecked lately. So good luck, everybody. Grab your ankles when you send those in.
Yeah, and I know some people have had success, and some I know you didn't get some of the grades that you were hoping for. There's been a few. It just feels random at the moment. They feel a lot more unpredictable, more now than ever. Like, it feels more unpredictable than ever. Back when the hype was crazy and people were just sending their old stuff when they were a kid, like, I couldn't understand grades being all over the place because people were just submitting anything that was like, what's it, basically. I could get that, but But right now, like people like yourself that like really looked and checked over and pre-graded that stuff, to be getting 8s and 9s in that level like seems a little harsh. What you got there? What you shaking?
It's a Gloom, first edition Gloom. Yeah, it's a
What
really
did it
good
hit?
condition card. It's a this one's a 6.
Was a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna resub it to CGC. It's probably an 8.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there we are.
Yeah, no, it's PSA's killing it, man. They keep up what they're doing. It's gonna be awesome. Quantity wise, they're killing it. I'll say that they're doing a good job.
500,000 slabs. They're killing it. I mean, the other thing is though, like they do have 3 locations now, right? They're setting up their 3rd. So
Wisconsin,
yeah, and then
I think, and then Cali, and then New Jersey or something.
Yeah, I don't remember where in Jersey it is.
I don't remember.
I'm bad at the town names, but yeah, generally like there's 3 locations. I think one of them is doing a lot of like Funko Pop type stuff, but regardless, like they have a lot of expenses. I would imagine like they have a really big team, a lot of marketing. You know, there's just a lot going on there. So 500,000 probably is warranted for how much they actually need. CGC is like very low scale for they knocked out 101,000 slabs, TCG slabs in February for the small scale that they what seems like a small scale in in Florida, in a small town in Florida, to be knocking that out seems pretty impressive when you look at that compared to PSA knocking out 466. I mean, it's interesting. I got to be honest with you. I can't imagine their expenses are anywhere near what PSA's are.
Yeah.
I don't know if
they're doing it.
Matt, you've been there, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. They're doing it all out of their one little building. Like when I went there, it's small. Every portion is in one little section of the building, and it's really cool to see it. But yeah, it's 101,000. It's nothing to shake a stick at. They're pumping it out. Like that's awesome to see. So they're on track. If you look at that projected 12 months, 1.2 million cards for the year. It's a lot of freaking cards. That's a lot. It's awesome. Way more than BGS.
What is the value like cheap submission prices? Is it 15 still for CGC?
With the highest membership, it's like $13.50 or something like that.
Okay, and then
discounted memberships.
Another 15 for subgrades if you wanted subgrades.
Yeah, you only do that for like really high end cards, or if you're trying to get the best possible grade and play the subgrade game for damaged cards with dings.
Say 13 bucks, like bare bones flat minimum. That's absolute lowest in gross. That's 1.3 million in sales for a month, which I mean it's a lot of money. That's pretty cool to like see them doing that well. Like the plastic doesn't cost that much. It's the labor obviously is intensive.
Yeah.
Some of the software stuff I'm sure takes a lot of upkeep, with their IT guys and the developers, whatever. But like, I'm sure they're making a profit. Like profit percentage wise against the net versus gross. Like I would imagine is pretty good when you're looking at that compared to PSA.
Yeah, and the CSG sports grading guys are like all under the same building. They're all like Tom, who's grading the sports cards, is like 10 feet away from like the trading card guys. So it's all going to the same bottom line. Same thing for PSA, but I'm sure that's maybe a little bit more separated. I've never seen it or seen a video on it, how their setup is, but yeah, it's crazy. They're pretty efficient.
I did pull the numbers, but for some reason it's not showing.
For which one? BGS?
For CSG.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not important, but yeah, BGS they knocked out 30,000 for TCG. So that's definitely the people sending black label hopeful candidates, I guess, for TCG. You know, possible. I would imagine at 30 grand, probably 1,000 of them were Umbreons. Like, let's get real. Like, people trying to get black label Umbreons. I can't really picture how many different cards are special enough to really make big money in a black label. But then, like you say, there is some cards that kind of might catch you off guard, and just because they are a black label and it's the only one, maybe they will do well. Maybe they'll sell for 2 or 3 grand. So it seems they're still doing some 30 grand, 30,000 in TCG seems pretty low in comparison to the other ones, but that's still a lot of slabs, you know, especially if there's a decent chunk of black labels in there. I'd imagine there's probably a few hundred out of that. I don't know.
Yeah, and just for talk a little bit, Squeaks Game World tonight did a small little live stream on a Beckett return, and he had a few black labels, and he had played the game a little bit with a Lugia V-Star, which is like a whatever $10, $15 card raw, and he sent 3 of them in. 2 of them got 9.5s. Those ones are like break evens, whatever. One of them hit a black label, and he had said he sent like a 4th card over to PSA. So he's got the PSA 10 that sold for like $100, the black label, and the 295s. And let me tell you, that black label is probably going to sell for a black label Lugia. What would you? I would think that thing could get almost $1,000.
Yeah, I like honestly wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't doubt it hitting a minimum of $1,000. I mean, realistically,
it's a Lugia black label. It's not an alt art. An alt art would be way dumber money than that. But
people love Lugia. Some people like really freaking love Lugia. It's got a huge fan base, absolutely massive, very close to Charizard. Honestly, there's a lot of people that love Charizard and Lugia is a very close one, especially for a lot of the people in the game, you know, that play the games. So, I can see it doing well. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I think Beckett is now becoming more of a play in the last month of people submitting, because I think their rate's really low, or they did a special. I can't even remember, but it was cheap, and people were
on,
yeah. So it's being able, like, that's a huge play. Like, he submitted the one, got a PSA 10, whatever, $100 card, but sending 3 cards and hitting 1 black label, like, if you could do that, like, with any consistency, good luck. It's Beckett, and it's kind of random, but if you can do that, that's a play. That's a lot of money you can rake in on those black labels.
It looks like they're about a 9-week turnaround at the moment. I saw someone talking in Discord earlier that they are shipping back, kind of completing orders from the first week of December currently. Nice. Which actually that wouldn't be 9 weeks, would it? Because we're in March now, so that would be for a 13-ish weeks actually. So much more time than PSA, and definitely more time than CGC. But I mean, if you're going to hit just that 1 black label out of your submission, I mean, you could wait a year. Like, honestly,
I mean, it's better than their old turnaround times that were like almost 2 years, I'm sure, and you wouldn't get any updates on your cards coming back. And
they were in a pretty bad spot. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so that's interesting. What's cool too, I actually really like seeing this SGC graded 13,000 in TCG and non-sport stuff. SGC's got a cool slab. I mean, the tuxedo looks cool. It looks nice. I think that Lugia that you're talking about, I think that would look really nice in an SGC slab with the tuxedo with the black background. There's a few Team Rocket cards that I can think of that I think would look good with a black background.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that dark, different feel. I don't know.
Yeah. The first slab I sold at Collecticon was in a SGC slab, and it was a Yu-Gi-Oh card. The liquid cards in SGC slabs with good grades sell decent. It's got to be a liquid-ish card. Of course, you don't want to put another niche thing on top of an already niche card. Like, you don't want to grade vending series with that and get a 9.5. Good luck selling that thing in the next 7 years. But you could do liquid cards in there, and it seemed to be pretty, from what my experience is, pretty generous on TCG grading as well. So I like them for sure.
How many times have you submitted to them now? Is it 2 or 3?
Probably like 4 or 5.
4. And I know I've seen a couple of your returns. I know it's been more than one. So that's first-hand experience there that you can say that. 13,000 is nothing. Like, there's got to be some real gems in there. There's got to be some really nice cards that like are just not selling for what they should be in some of those slabs.
I'm almost shocked at how high that number is compared to CGC. Yeah. It's a 10th, literally a 10th. They're doing a 10th of business, but I feel like they don't do any marketing pushing for grading non-sports cards. They just do it by word of mouth more so. I know the SGC CEO just created his Instagram recently, so he hadn't even like you see all these other guys from CGC and WADA all over IG. And this guy just created it, so he's just now getting into the whatever, talking with collectors and stuff like that. So that'll help them, but it's crazy they're already that high in not doing the marketing for non-sports. Really, it's pretty crazy. And then that's all CGC does is non-sports.
So do you think a chunk of that is maybe sports people dabbling in non-sports?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they SGC is one of the most,
because they're huge in the
grading companies
for sports
cards,
right?
Yeah, the Mickey Mantle that sold for 12.6 million was an SGC slab. The Honus Wagner that sold for 7 million was an SGC slab. They have like 2 of the top 3 sales ever for sports cards in their slab. So they're reputable. They've been there. Sports cards, people trust them. So
I feel like there's got to be a certain element there of, I don't know, like a play, a chance, like, I'm going to rip some packs. I'm going to buy this. I'm just going to have a go at the non-sport stuff, maybe, and some success there. I don't know. It's interesting. We could speculate all day, I guess. What do you think on getting out of the numbers? What are you thinking on the CGC or whoever's going to do it? I'm not really up to speed on what's going on there, but moving from VHS to CD, record, vinyl, 5-inch, like, I don't know, like mini disc. There's a million different music grading things.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts there?
Yeah. So did you hear there's a music grading company? You heard that or no?
I heard that. I think we talked about it. Steve Aoki is part of setting something up, right?
Yep, Steve Aoki started. So yeah, it's kind of what I want to talk about. Steve Aoki started his own grading company. I want to say it might be related to VGA. Inside of the VGA umbrella, VGA does the video games, video grading authority or video game authority or something like that they're called. But they have VHS. They have a whole bunch of things. The label looks really similar to the VGA labels. And it's got a similar acronym, of course. It's got the 3-letter acronym, but I think there's a G in the middle. But it's cool seeing that they are grading vinyl records, they're grading CDs, they're grading 8-tracks, cassette tapes. Like something I had talked about and everybody surely has in the last couple of years. Like, why the hell aren't we doing this? We're doing comics, we're doing cards, we're doing all this other crap, video games. Like literally it's might as well be the same thing as grading a video game because you have nostalgia for the cover art and you see all the track list on the back and stuff like that. So why not do that? Like all these vintage albums, of course, like what they should be encapsulated. Who's going to want to rip open an old Michael Jackson Thriller record and throw it on because it sounds way better coming fresh out of the, yeah, right, dude. Like, but it sounds sick. I definitely am going to be grading something, probably CDs, because that's my nostalgia kick is the CDs, vintage CDs from 1990s, vintage. But Yeah, it would be cool having like some Eminem CDs from back in the day and stuff like that. What about you?
I mean, there's a lot of emotional connection to music, right? People like there's a lot of like moments in your life and relationships and like periods of time that you can relate music to. When you hear a certain song, you think of like that time or that breakup or that relationship or that car ride or that job or I don't know, whatever it is. Like I remember my first non-pirate, my first legitimate CD that wasn't burned, was Linkin Park, their Hybrid Theory album, and I played that thing. It was summer, and I just remember playing it over and over and over. And I had my window open. I sat by my window just listening to Linkin Park, just learning the words to. There's a couple of songs in there that I hadn't heard before from their singles. They hadn't released a single, so when I heard the album, I was like, I don't know what this song is, but this is awesome. I need to learn the lyrics to it. So yeah, I was learning lyrics and singing along. It was just amazing. Like it's just a cool time in your life. So just like you say, to go back to that nostalgia of that vintage CD. I mean, I'd probably pay more than what the CD's worth, honestly. Like just have that just as a cool little kick, like a little thing, a little throwback to it. I can't be the only person feeling like that. I
Yeah,
can't. There's got to be a lot of other people, and I think that's part of why COVID brought out a lot of that of us. The being at home and wanting to throw back to some simpler, more fun, positive times, some moments in our life that like we can reflect on and play Pokemon again, play with the Pokemon cards again, play games again, listen to music. I mean, whatever it is, this feels like a natural progression to lead back to that. Like that's the next step. People have already done all those things that we've been playing with the past couple of years. Maybe
yeah,
not CDs and cassettes that you're talking about. Maybe that is the organic next step almost, even though it's not organic.
yeah. And it would be cool, just like I don't know, like I'm thinking like down the road, like you got it encapsulated, you got the CDs, whatever it is, 3 CDs. They bring you back to your childhood, and now your granddaughter, or your daughter walks into your office. She's like, "Dad, what is that? Like, what's on your?" And you could grab it, you could set it there, she could see it, and then she could just read like, "Oh man, these are the names of these songs. Let me listen to this. Let me check this out." Like she can't really do that. Listen, like she could go on my Spotify and listen to my playlist, but that'll never happen. I feel like that would be maybe a little bit more of a chance. Like that'd be pretty cool. It'd be cool to be able to sit there, have the album, so she could see the cover art, see what a CD freaking looks like, because they're not gonna know what that is. It's gonna be wild, and it'll be really cool. I feel like it'll be even talking about some of these the games, like just I could pull up an emulator and we could play it and be like, yeah, this is the game I grew up on, and it'll be I don't know,
That's
we're gonna be a bunch of crazy old men is what's gonna end up happening.
you know what I just thought of as you were saying that. Oh my god, I can't believe I just thought about this. What if with the QR code or the cert number or whatever, it actually took you to that game or to that soundtrack, like on their software or on YouTube or something? Like it literally took you to it so you could see and experience what that
Yeah,
certification number and the actual item is connected to. That'd be cool. Like you say, she walks in, oh, you want to listen to it? Get your hologram phone out in 2040 and like do a little click, and
yeah,
then boom, suddenly like you're listening to that music in your brain microchip or whatever. Like it's that's obviously very far fetched, but like they could. Like they
yeah,
could link it to the music. I mean, it's out there. Like whether it's paid or free, I'm sure there's some service that could connect to.
yeah. Link them to like the YouTube Vivo account, the main channel for their music
Yeah,
drops.
collaboration there. I mean,
There you go, Steve. Hope you listen to this.
you're welcome, bro. Broski. That one for free.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's I'm excited for it. That'll be pretty cool. I definitely need to get it going soon because I feel like it's gonna get lot of buyouts probably happening already on eBay, and I'm already lacking. So
Honestly, I think nothing but positive. I just don't. I don't think there's a downside to it. Other than people getting wrecked on like fakes and fake seals and whatever. Like, there's obviously like damaged stuff, getting bad grades, whatever. But like the actual heart and the root of it, it's a very positive, cool thing to think of. Honestly, I love the
I think you
idea of
said
it.
in the Discord that you used to vibe to the Wiggles, right? So maybe I'll get you that for Christmas or something, like a
Fucking
graded
Wiggles.
Wiggles album.
Oh my god, that was the
Cocoa
bane.
melon, cocoa melon.
Oh god, the oh,
Get you a graded cocoa album, cocoa melon album.
I can like physically feel it in my bones right now. COVID plus 1 year old, 2 year old, like your kids the same age as mine. Yeah, that was tough. That was oof, yeah. The
That
Wiggles.
channel's doing well. Cocoa melon's doing well.
Oh my god, they got products everywhere. They're all over Walmart. I mean, they're yeah, phenomenal. They're in like 7 different languages. They're killing it. They're doing great. Let's move on
Yeah.
from that. I feel sick.
Yeah, no, I'll kick us off with this next one. So I wrote down this topic I want to talk about because I've been seeing a bunch of leaks about the new Triple Beat set coming out. The Scarlet and Violet looks freaking dope. Obviously, they're doing a great job making all these cards. It's been continuing for a long time. For the past few sets, it's been freaking phenomenal. The amount of art coming out. And it kind of plays back to my comment earlier. Not going to talk about the Yu-Gi-Oh much or why it's superior, but it's getting tougher. It's getting better. It's getting way better. It seems to be it's crazy. Like the Magikarp. There's a Magikarp card that an artist alternative rare or whatever it's called. The thing would look like a freaking thing of beauty. It was badass. So um, the modern cards, like I saw Gem Mint Pokemon open modern Pokey Chloe one of her packs from her channel, and he ripped open a Radiant Steelix, and he was the happiest kid in the candy store because he thought the card looked freaking dope. Like they're sucking in these old collectors, man. I'm telling you, it's when they start doing these Kanto region Gen 2, Gen 3s. Like I'm a sucker for amazing rares and like the Radiant cards. I like that older style, not the full blown crazy arts, but I do full like that Magikarp's freaking nuts. There's a lot of freaking crazy stuff coming out, and it's like the Umbreon, whatever it is, the Moonbreon card. It's kind of meh to me. Like the picture itself, like I don't know. I feel like I've seen it enough. I've seen enough people paint it in way too many different medias, and I don't know. It's almost getting burnt out for me. But a lot of the stuff's really cool. It's crazy. What do you think?
I have a question before I give my take on it. You mentioned Tauros too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That card.
Awesome card.
Yeah, I mean, it just reminded me of like Shaman toilet paper. Honestly, I that might be the spicy topic of the night. I thought that card was absolute garbage. Honestly, that I don't want to sound brutal, but like that Tauros for me, I was like, what? Like, does anyone else see this? Like, what? Is it just me?
Damn.
But the Magikarp, bro, that was special. I mean, I don't know if I have the right words for that card. That card it was special. That artwork is. I think when something is so intricate, I think that's what it is. You can tell there's been so much effort and time put into that card artwork. That artist genuinely cared about making it look special, and it paid off. Like it was real deal. And that next to the Tauros, I mean, it's embarrassing, honestly. For the if I was Tauros, I'd be kicking my hooves. I'd be pretty mad about it, honestly.
I was a fan of it. I liked it. It took me
Mhm.
back to Safari Zone, and it was cool. The whole herd, and it was all right. Next subject. No, But yeah, no, that card for me, that card was a vibe. I definitely am. It's pretty cool, man. I don't know. You're smoking dust.
Maybe I'm sure they're gonna come at me. I'm sure it's just me. I feel like it was just me when everyone was talking about it. Like it's cool, but like I can't feel anything when I've just seen that Magikarp. Like, how can I be impressed by that Tauros when I'm looking at Magikarp and I'm like, holy shit, this thing is mind blowing. And then the Tauros, like a bit of a sunset or whatever it is, like, yeah, I don't know.
Did you see they announced? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think you're right though. Like they are better and better and better, and they continuously keep improving, doing different things and slightly different styles. Like you say, they dabbled in that amazing rares, and then they did this, they did that. Like they've got Radiant, some nice cool cards. There's a few things that they're playing around with, and those special artworks, they're really standing out every single set. Like they really are. They're knocking the ball out of the park for sure. I really do agree with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you see they announced, I think today or yesterday? Today we're recording Tuesday the 7th, but they announced the pack breakdown. They keep saying 3 hollows per pack, and you're actually gonna get 2 reverses and a hollow now. And in each pack, which is I don't hate it. I'm not it'll be nice that people that want to collect reverse sets are going to have a lot better opportunity to do so now. It'll make that more possible than before.
Well, I think something is going to fall in place of one of the reverses, right? Whether it's an altar or
it can. It does not every time though.
Not every time, but that's what I'm saying. Like if you open a box, you're not going to have 2 in every single pack, like 2 reverses. There are going to be some.
Yeah.
So it's like, am I going to get a reverse, or am I going to get like this special trainer? Am I going to get a special, or am I going to get a special, whatever it is that's happening? I don't think I fully know what it could be yet. I don't think anyone really does, but I kind of like that because you're going to get that, and you're still going to get your reverse.
Yeah.
If providing it's going how I'm thinking, like you're still going to get reverse too, and you're hollow. So you're like not just looking for one thing that's cool, not just one like nice card in the pack. Like I've had packs where I haven't had a reverse or a hollow or an art or anything like it, and it's like you can just kind of feel a bit crap. Like it's $5 down the drain. Like it's sometimes. I know some of the artwork's nice on some of the commons, but like generally those packs, you've already pulled those cards, like the commons that are in it. It's not like it's some common that you were waiting for and trying to get. You know, it's I don't know. I do like the idea of this having a little bit more flash and color and a little bit more of like something in there. I think what's really going to set it apart if they put the effort in is how many cards are going to be in the set. And how many are going to be special altar arts? How many are going to be hollows? How many are going to? I mean, probably everything's probably going to be a reverse in terms of, the reverse art is probably going to be similar in that style. But I mean, is there a trainer gallery that's going to have 50 trainer gallery cards in there? Is it going to be like 5? Like I don't know. It's going to be what is the chase, not just necessarily what's possibly in the packs, but like how realistic is it to get it. That's going to dictate the mentality behind opening those packs. I think, like what's going to happen. I'm excited about it though. Like I want to open some, legit.
Yeah,
like,
I think
I'm excited too.
Yeah, no, it'll be awesome in a sense, but also a little bit of fear because Yu-Gi-Oh's done that, and you get a hollow in every pack, and you almost get numb to it. You're just like, oh, it's another V. Oh, another V. Oh, another V. Like you just keep getting garbage hollows in every pack now, and they feel that much worse because you get them all the time instead of just infrequently. I don't know. I was really curious to see how it'll play out for Pokemon because, like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh's doing it, and you could get a binder of hollow cards that's this thick from Yu-Gi-Oh, and the thing could be worth $40 because there is some absolute trash hollows. But there isn't species collectors in Yu-Gi-Oh! There are in Pokemon, so it's a completely different game. Pokemon carries the torch on that one, and it always will. So no, it'll probably be great things.
Wouldn't you much rather have like a V or like something with a little bit of flash of color than a non-holo rare though?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I think Pokemon's going to be a lot different than Yu-Gi-Oh! In that sense.
Even if it's worth nothing, like just regardless of value, I think it would look nicer and cooler. Like more often than not, a full art card looks a little bit better than a non-holo
I
rare.
agree. I do agree, but I think the issue is like in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Side where it feels bad is that okay, I got all these hollows, and now why is this hollow $100 more than the other ones? They kind of don't look that different. Like you're getting It's basically in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just playability. It's not about appearance at all, or the pull rate does play a little bit into it, but it's all playability.
Can
so
you use
that's
for the game? Basically.
Exactly. So you have gorgeous cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That have never even touched a deck because they're absolute trash, literally dating back to the beginning of the game. So, yeah, it's completely different. But I do like myself having opened Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs. It's already just feels bad because you pull these ultra rares. You're like, oh, is this good? You look it up. Oh, that's 10 cents. That sucks. So it's just like I don't know. I'll be curious to see how it develops, and I'm sure it'll be great for whatnot streamers. Like, oh, you got a hit. Oh, you got a hit. Oh, you got a hit. You don't miss. You don't miss. That'll be perfect.
I didn't think about that. I mean, it would be fun live streaming. Like, oh, like where you go? Yeah, you go.
Yeah,
another one.
Pretty much.
Just hits all around. That is funny. I did. Yeah. I opened. I feel like I sent you a picture. I pulled some kind of dragon from a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack, and I looked it up, and it was worth nothing. But I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, this should be worth something. This is like looks like a pretty special card. Visually, it looks like a really special card.
Yeah,
it looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's their problem.
I put it in my binder. It's literally in my binder. I was like, this thing's amazing. I have the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Card I have in my binder, and it's like worthless, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's bizarre.
I can blow your mind.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that it has been going a long time doing that too, right? Like that's not a current thing that like just started like Pokemon. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to on the Pokemon side. I think there's going to be a little bit of like, I don't know, turbulence, I guess, with it when it first starts.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I wanted to mention also the Creatures had created their Instagram dedicated to just like showing off the art of their cards. They basically are posting cards on their Instagram, removing all the text and everything from the cards so you could see the full art of the picture. That was created, I think, in January, and it's almost 30,000 people following. So I'll link it down below in the description if anybody wants to go check that out. Highly recommend it. Pretty cool stuff.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, again, you talk about special artworks. There's some pretty special stuff there.
Yeah.
So I know that we filmed right after the eBay Live with Football Pete. I know you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. Yeah, I got wrapped up with the kids. Did you?
Yeah, I watched probably the first 10, 15 minutes. Was curious to see what it was about. So those of you that don't know, eBay is doing live streams like they're trying to get into like the whatnot type things, but it's not the same. So far, it hasn't been the same. But this basically was a live stream like QVC. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's basically the one lady from Shark Tank is part of QVC, and basically you would go on to QVC, post your products, like you'd be on a stage showing off your products, why your products are so nice. There would be links down below in the description, so you can click on it and go buy it now because these people are shilling their balls off selling it. That was basically what was happening. So Scott, P Football Pete, was up on stage with another gentleman, and they had these booster boxes, or they had pictures of booster boxes talking about them, the pre-release of Scarlet and Violet, the ETBs, and they sharded the bed on at the first. Like they were like, hey, you can click the link below and buy a case, or pre-buy a case of Scarlet and Violet. So if you click that link, and then it would take you to eBay, and you'd go and you would fill out the cart. The maximum they allowed you to put was 5. So you couldn't even buy a case. Everyone in the comments was like, hey, you messed up. You can't add 6. Like they literally messed up their ad on eBay and only put it for 5. It's fixed now. If you go to buy it, you can get 6, so you can get a whole case. I was literally ready to buy at their price of $119 for per box, but it would only allow me to select 5. So they literally crapped the bed on the first ever TCG eBay live, and it was I was like,
Wow.
Feels bad, dude. I literally was gonna buy it. I was like, I'm not gonna buy 5 boxes. It was freaking pointless. It would not let me select 6, but yeah, it was basically just them, nothing like Whatnot, in the sense that they were just posting an item, talking about it, what's in it, different stuff like that. The guy Scott, who his account is P Football Pete, talking a little bit about the supply of Pokemon cards, the demand. He's not going to see reprints until like May, and it's going to be freaking insane if that's the case. Sounds like it is, if it's coming from him. It's going to be a wild ride, man. But it was really cool. I can't wait to see it expand a little bit more and more people able to do it. And right now it seems to be eBay selects a couple people. They do it live. It's definitely not open to the public by any means, but it's cool to see it developing. So,
how many do you think he sold?
Oh God, there was over 10,000. I screenshot it. Over 10,000 people were watching it at one point. I'm like, and I got off after like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like I said. 10,000 effing people. Look, could you imagine a Whatnot stream with 10,000 people in it?
I mean, I'm just
like, it'd be a wrap.
All I'm thinking is, like, I know you're saying the bet on the case is like, for us that knows what a case is, and like we even know that there's 6 to a case, right? I would imagine 99% of Pokemon people don't even know that 6 boxes are to a case. Like, people just don't spend that kind of money on that stuff. So like maybe they buy 1, maybe 2, that kind of stuff. I can't help but think that like he still probably fucking crushed it. Like he still probably made like crazy money that day for what, an hour? I mean, how long did it last? It was like an hour or so, right? I don't think it was like anything crazy.
Yeah, and then when I checked whatever it was 48 hours ago, the listing was still up, so you could still pre-order from them. So how many freaking boxes are these guys getting? It's absolutely insane. It's literally like a distribution company, how many boxes they get. Like, at what point are you considered distribution for how many quantity you're selling? And it's literally just, the dude said he's in talks with Pokemon for how much quantity he's doing. Like, it's kind of weird.
Did you see that blurb about it?
About what?
eBay's blurb about him. Did you see the written thing they did? They wrote on the eBay ad about the live that he is the #1, don't quote me on this, like the #1 collectibles seller on eBay, like the highest volume or whatever. It basically said like he sells more fucking collectible shit than anybody else on eBay, which like is believable. Like, I bought stuff from him 2-3 years ago, you know, when it was selling ETBs. Like I remember before, you know, got other places to buy it, but he's definitely like got big volume. So if you're gonna get anyone on there to do that, I mean, you get that guy. Like, you'd get the one that makes the most sales for you. He brings in the people. He has the most repetitive business or best prices or whatever it is, whatever angle he's got. He's clearly got good prices, because every time you search for something, like 9 times out of 10, he's the lowest. Like, he does have good prices. So yeah, I think it's cool. I would imagine there was some success there. That's really dumb that there wasn't the 6 box option though, because having a sealed case I mean, not just for us, but like for them. Like, surely just sticking a sticker on it, like, and not even
they
have
messed
to
up.
open it. Like, just stick a sticker on it, get straight back out. You don't even need to touch anything. Like, it just seems like such a rookie mistake. So rookie.
Yeah.
Right?
It's definitely a mistake because in their live they are saying go, but you can if you go fill it out to 6, you can get a full case, but it was not an option. They literally
they
messed up
literally
the listing.
said order 6.
They said it, yeah. They said it should be 6. Go click it, and then they saw the comments. The comments were going like, "Hey, dude, it can only do 5. I can only do 5." They're like, "No, you're good. Get 6." You couldn't. Like the listing was jacked.
That's embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed. Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's terrible.
wait. Yeah, I mean they still made a killing. I'm sure, like 10,000 plus live viewers. That's insane. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, I can't imagine those 10,000 were people that just happened to stumble on eBay at that time. Like, it was probably people that were drawn to that specific eBay live because they're targeted with their SEO type stuff. Like, they're only going to plug that to you if you've bought or sold collectibles, right? I would imagine, like, that kind of stuff. They're not probably flogging eBay live links to people that are on there trying to find a new washer for their garbage disposal. They're not trying to get you to join that live, right? It's very targeted for the millions of people that are using it. 10,000 is low, but they're the 10,000 that are probably the most likely to purchase. So I'd really like to know. I'd be curious on what their sales were that day, like how much of an effect that live had. And the days after, it probably trickled down a little bit, but still, I would imagine it was a pretty special day for him. It's probably a pretty special day.
I wonder if they can do auction style lives. Like I was thinking like Probstein or Z&G Emporium or Rusty TCA Gaming, any of those guys. It'd be interesting how that would work because all I could picture is Whatnot, but it would not be probably a Whatnot style because you would just be working off the current listings that are on auction. So I don't know if you'd just be sharing your screen, talking about the item that's up on the block or what's being auctioned. But I would like to see a live auction on eBay Live. That'd be cool.
I think they'd only entertain something close to that if it was from their vault. I think eBay are pretty selfish generally when other people offer the same products, like the same kind of services. I would imagine they would maybe do something to like market stuff from their vault where they have like a decent like a what do you call it, like a decent markup or whatever. You know, they're getting the most profit from that kind of stuff. They've been pushing it. I mean, I keep getting ads and stuff asking me to send things to Vault.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. But I think because like the way they allowed Football Pete to do it, nothing's in the vault. They're getting whatever percentage they get from Football Pete, like 0.07 or whatever it probably is. I feel like it would be the same for Probstein. It would just be
Rusty has a contract with them for the vault.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's got to happen sometime, I'm sure. It might have already happened for a different genre of maybe watches or shoes or something else that's already had an eBay Live. I haven't watched too many of them, but I'll definitely be keeping an eye out.
Yeah, sneakers are a really big thing. I know there's a big fan base and a lot of big numbers flying around with some of those sneakers, especially some of the older stuff, you know, and the more rare stuff to get. So, yeah, who knows? I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. They've got a lot of assets, a lot of money, a lot of people. They've got a lot of things at their disposal to like play around with that stuff. Like even if they don't take it serious, like they could just try it, like and not really lose out too much money. They make so much money. Yeah. eBay is so profitable. It's unreal.
I think they're doing all right. That's for sure. You did you get any of the illustration codes for the new boys?
I did not. I messed up, and I wanted that Bulbasaur so bad. It's so cute. I messed up. It's like the first time that I haven't jumped into one of those and got involved in it. Did you get involved?
I got codes. Well, you get one code, and then you'll get the pack of 3 Illustrator cards. So yeah, I haven't purchased or used my code yet, but it's gonna happen sometime. You gotta spend $30 versus whatever the special delivery charge was. What 20? 20. Yeah, so you gotta spend 30 for these things, which is bullshit. But yeah, I'll claim my free prize, which will be pretty cool. Found out today my son's favorite Pokemon's Bulbasaur, apparently. Pretty random.
He's an OG.
Yeah, I guess so. So there's still, I don't know. He loves dinosaurs, Bulbasaur, dinosaur. I don't know. That's probably a shtick, but
just run with it. As long as it's not saying Greninja or like Fuecoco or whatever.
Fuecoco. Quaxley.
Flaxley. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like Quaxley. I can see why Dan likes it. There is something a little like, I don't know. He's got like a little attitude. Like it's like funny to think of. But he also is like the 5th duck. Like how many ducks do we need in Pokemon?
7.
Do we need a 5th duck? Do we need 7?
Need a couple more.
We've got a couple more generations to go. We can add another. We'll do Blaxley and Slaxley in the next 2 ones. We'll see. We'll throw a couple. We'll throw Fuck Coco and Big Bobo and I don't know whatever. We'll make some other variations of the starters, and we'll just keep rolling with ducks and crocodile type stuff and cats. There's a million cats.
Penguins.
I don't know why. Oh my god, there's so much repetitiveness. I'm just glad they're not making more like ice creams and cups of tea, because like that was too. Oh my god, I nearly said Farfetch'd then, but Farfetch'd is a Pokemon, so that would have sounded dumb. Yeah, I still think there's room for some things that I haven't seen. I thought of a couple the other day. I think I was talking about it in Discord, and I was like, why haven't they made this a Pokemon yet? But I forgot what it was. I don't remember.
Tell you.
There's still a few we haven't done. I saw we got to talk about this real quick. This absolutely nothing to do with slabs, but I didn't realize Pikachu is based on an actual animal. I don't know if you know this already.
The mouse Pokemon.
There's an animal. It's called Mouse Pokemon, but it's based on an actual animal called. It's like a. What's it called? Oh my god, I forgot what it's called. It was like a Minkachu or something. It was literally has a chew at the end, and it's a real animal. And I was like, this ain't real. Like, there's no way this is real. And then I watched this whole video about it. You're looking it up. It was like Minkachu or Mikachu or something. I was like, hold up. Whoa. Like, seriously.
I think you're smoking dust.
No, I'm not kidding. I watched this whole episode about it, and I couldn't take my eyes off
4chan.
it. I swear it began with an M. Did you find it?
I don't know if this is what I'm looking at here. I said, what is Pikachu based off of here? Let me let's do this. Let's present my screen. Pull this bad boy up. Is it one of these?
Yes. I mean, obviously it's not actually yellow. Like someone's edited it, but what's it called?
This is what you're talking. It's called a bunny rabbit.
No. No, it's an M. It begins with an M, and it has a chew at the end.
I'm terrified to click on any of these.
Oh my god,
because we're recording.
That's going to drive me nuts. I'll get it for the next episode. Don't worry, guys. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, wait, cliffhanger.
I watched a
way to just hang
whole
them up.
show about this animal. Like me and my daughter, like watched this whole thing, and I just couldn't stop watching the whole time. I was like, I can't believe I didn't know Pikachu was based on this animal. It was mind blowing, absolutely gorgeous thing. So yeah. Anyway, we can move on
Nice.
from that.
That's glad you're spending some valuable time learning about Pikachu's origin story.
family moments. Family moments. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
done.
I didn't pick up that set though. I need to. I'm glad you got the code because at least one of us did. But yeah, I wonder if I could buy a code cheap. Huh?
You want to buy it?
Yeah.
$100.
I'll give you one Minkachu.
No, hard pass. I'm good on that.
Did you do the $10 coupon watch party?
What is that?
On Pokemon Day, if you watched Pokemon for 15 minutes, you got a $10 coupon for Pokemon Center.
I totally watched it for 15 minutes, but I don't remember getting an email.
It popped up on the screen while you're watching it.
How did they do that?
It had a timer. When you start watching it, like a timer came up, and when it hit 15, the code popped up, and I just screenshot the code basically.
Totally whiffed on that one. I think I was on my phone though, driving. So, such is life. Live and learn.
With the try. What else you got this week? What else is going on in the world of Slabbed?
Cracking a whole bunch. Like I just cracked that Gloom. Probably crack the rest of these that way. Cracking slabs, sending them to CGC, PSA, regrading. Just sent some video games to CGC video games this week. 25 cards to PSA. Busy. I'm doing my first ever like full blown auction that's ending Sunday on my eBay. Not even gonna link it because I don't care to, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, it took me probably 2.5, 3 hours of work, but it's like 40 cards that are all going to end 1 minute apart, and it's pretty cool. Never done a scheduled auction, and
no way.
That'll be cool. I'll be curious to see how that goes because they're all cheaper cards. They're all like probably $60. I didn't want to pay an arm and a leg to get them pushed through a consignment house, so figured I'd just bite the bullet, take some time, and.
I listed a couple on Sunday too. We must be on the same wavelength. I listed a couple of like $50, $30 to $50 type ones that I just want to clear out. I didn't really see a good spot for them to go anywhere. So yeah, same thing. That's cool. That's exciting. Are you gonna show any of those at Sunday night PWCC live stream time or?
Yeah, they'll all be done. I think they're going to end around 4 p.m. So it'll be, I'll take a look. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably bring them up, pull them up, and see where they landed. That'll be pretty interesting to look at.
Mr. Shilling opportunity there. Yeah, I just got a couple of Pikachu's blast in there, but I'll be listening in on your PWCC stream. I actually have my 1-of-1 masterpiece Joe Exotic ending on Sunday night at PWCC.
What's she at right now?
There's like 4 bids. It's like nothing. I don't even know if it's in double digits. Honestly, it's very low. But I'm intrigued because there was a lot of bids when I bought it. There was quite a few. So I don't know if it's gonna fall short or go over or what. But I'd like to get $100 out of it. Honestly, I don't know what it's worth really. I don't know what someone would be willing to pay for it. But being a 1-of-1 and signed by him while he was in jail, like I just think that's like such a cool thing.
Providence is huge. It's so cool.
But that's cool, right? This is fucking crazy.
Probably dropped the soap while he was signing it. It's a hot mess.
Yeah. That's probably why it's a little bit shaky. But yeah, I mean,
oh god,
$100 for I think that's a good deal for a signed Joe Exotic 1-of-1 masterpiece, the only one ever made and signed. Like, I think it's cool. So yeah, we'll see. Not shilling. Please don't go look that up. Like, it's a ridiculous purchase. None of you should buy that. But it's fun. It's just a bit of fun.
Hell yeah. You should have waited for season 2 to drop, right? They don't have a season 2, do they? Yet, Tiger King? I don't think so. I never watched season 1, but I feel like season 2 didn't come out yet because it would have been all.
You didn't watch it? Oh my god, I dropped it. When it dropped in COVID times, it was like right when COVID was like crazy pants. We watched it, and yeah, it was. You couldn't stop watching it. It was car crash TV. They call it. That's the phrase, right?
Yeah.
Like train crash TV, car crash TV, whatever it is. Like,
yeah,
it was like that.
You can't not watch the next one.
Yeah, I remember this one moment. He had a Walmart trailer pull up at the zoo, and it was old, like rotten meat that they couldn't sell, and they just literally threw it, not in boxes or anything, just threw a pile of meat in packets and stuff into this big trailer, and they just backed it up to the zoo and like dumped it out, and all the staff were like, I'm taking this, all the staff were taking all this meat, and they were like, whatever's left we'll give to the animals. I just remember thinking like like, some people are crazy, like actually crazy. And then I remember I made a joke about it on my Facebook, saying like, there's like a screenshot of it, and I was like, me at Walmart when I found out COVID was taking over the world. I was just like grabbing all this meat and like throwing it in my freezer, like anything that they had, like bologna and like random shit. It was like the same thing. It was funny. Yeah, I digress. We're really going on some tangents tonight.
Oh yeah, you are. No. Did you happen to watch Alpha Investments video on the Pokemon that he did a couple days ago?
I did. I don't really feel like there was that much meat to it, though. I don't really feel like there was that much in there that like I could grasp onto. I actually listened to it this morning while I was working, but did you grab anything from it, really?
No, it was more just him, and it's crazy. Like, I'm afraid what he's doing, talking, because most of his community was Magic the Gathering people. Of course, it's developed over time. There's a lot of Pokemon people in there that watch him, and whatever, One Piece, MetaZoo, because he does all this different content now. But
yeah,
I'm afraid of like the Gary V effect almost from him, the size of his channel, because he does talk, like in the video, he's like clearly saying that Pokemon is a pretty safe bet. Seems to be pretty good. Like, it's done nothing but good things. I got really good hopes of how it's going to perform. And some of these people that follow this gentleman's channel, of course, probably got some deep pockets and probably are helping attribute to the booster box famine that's occurring.
Yeah.
Just buying, like, you see Rudy doing it. He's printing money, and he's talking about Chilling Reign. I bought it for $75 a box. Now it's sitting at $140.
Repetitively talking about Chilling Reign.
So it just scares me. I don't want another Gary V effect where he brings in all this money and these people are buying up all these Pokemon cards because Gary V is telling them Charizard will never pull a hamstring. He's the best rookie card to happen since whatever. And then a lot of them pull out. And I hope it doesn't happen the same way Alpha does with Pokemon, because I could see Alpha dropping a video saying, hey, I'm out. Like, when Pokemon starts going, if it ever does, he would make that video. Like, he's like, hey,
yeah,
I'm cutting the ties, and then everybody else just dump. So
it has been doing it with Magic. It's took so much shit about Magic the past few months. Like, grit. There's no grit there. He has no staying power. No grit. Yeah, it was interesting. Like you were saying, he was specifically calling out like Chilling Reign booster boxes, and he was referring to cases and like prices and movements and stuff. And it was like,
yeah, it's kind of weird.
Not everybody's you. Rudy. Like, it's like, how many of us are Rudy? Like, realistically, like, you can't give us the advice of like what you would do. It doesn't relate. Like, we're not doing that same stuff. We're not spending $500,000 on Chilling Reign. Like, it's not the same thing. Like, even if Chilling Reign goes up 20%, I mean, that's $20. Like, it's not, you're not getting rich. Like, for him, 20% on that's like a decent chunk of money. It's enough to buy a nice car. Like, yeah, on that one product, but I don't know. You just got to take some of what he says as just entertainment. There really wasn't much meat in there that like really meant anything. Like you say, it was more of being the little hype dog, like Gary Vee type stuff, and I don't know, it's just like interesting to listen to. Honestly, I think that's the most part of it. He's not investing time into Pokemon. He doesn't know Pokemon. He doesn't understand it fully. I don't think he's like really into the ins and outs. Like, he wouldn't know which is the best card to grade from Crown Zenith.
No.
Lost Origin. Like, he wouldn't know like that stuff. Like, he's just buying a lot of something that he knows has consistently done well and moved in price. He's bought it at a good price, and he sells it at a better price. I mean, it's like, is he the right person to take investment advice on? I mean, if you're doing that, yeah, but like, probably not for the 99% of us. He's in the 1% club, right?
Yeah, a lot of people have pumped booster boxes and like that's like the go-to for investment channels is boosting. Say, hey, buy this booster box, it's gonna go up.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's probably a pretty safe bet based on the history of Pokemon booster boxes at this point. Like, it's almost getting old hearing about some of the stuff on some of these channels, but I respect the grind, people making the videos and stuff. So do whatever you got to do, but yeah, it's almost a broken record. The things Pokemon's doing, what Pokemon's doing, it's crazy stuff. So you love to see it, man. It's I'm happy. I'm here for the ride.
Yeah. The good thing is that we have a brand new generation coming out, right? We have some pretty special changes that happen in. Yellow borders are gone. We've got like, say, the double reverse slot, the hollow slot at the end, possibly an energy after that kind of stuff. Like, it seems like we have a good understanding that there's going to be stuff in there that's going to be fun. There's going to be amazing artworks. We've already seen some glimpses of some stuff. It's exciting. There's even literally new Pokemon that are going to be on cards. A lot of new stuff going on. So we're at 1,001, I think. I forget the exact number. I think it's 1,001, right? Pokemon now.
I don't know.
Let's call it about it.
Over 1,000. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just hit 1,001, something like that. So, I mean, that's cool. That gives you a lot of options to play around with stuff over this next generation. There's literally 1,000 choices to go at. People never get bored of Pikachu. People never get bored of Charizard. Clearly, like, special delivery Charizard is still like crazy. Charizard UPC is still crazy. Like, in slabs, it's still selling really well. So, yeah, I mean, I just think there's a lot of good coming, even if Sword and Shield tanks or whatever really does this happens, that happens. I still just think there's a lot of exciting stuff in the future still coming, regardless of whatever happened. And if people decide to get out long term, I mean, we're in it. Like, people talk about, Pokemon for the long term, are they going to last? I mean, they are lasting with almost 30 years in. Like, we're in longer than most people listening to this podcast, probably. Like, Pokemon is old. It's pretty up there. So
yeah, man, it's gonna be a journey, that's for sure. We're in it for the long haul.
It's fun.
Ready to wrap this boy up?
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to touch on? I think we went over a lot of
drop
random
those spicy
stuff.
comments. Drop those spicy comments.
Yes.
Enter in to win this. Everybody do it. That's
Please
all I
do
got
that
for you guys.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Again, appreciate the support. Thanks for everyone that has been watching, sharing, liking, subscribing. We see these numbers. We see you guys interacting with us and the feedback you're giving us. It's really fun. It's exciting. We're enjoying it. We're glad that you guys are enjoying it. We're doing it for you. So thank you.
A little bit for me. Have a good night, man. Good talking.
See ya. Bye. Take care.
Peace.